Hello everybody, I'm going to be reviewing the Iso-flo from Bullworker today. So this is the case that it came in. It's nice and embroidered. Everything that was advertised it came with. So it came with 2 straps, carabiner. I'll show you as I could discuss this. So here's the carabiner, smoothed out edges. Two of this identical straps, which are both attached to a cam buckle. Easily slides through, very quick adjustments. And then it came with an ISO bow. So this is what you can also do isometrics with this and iso motion as they call it. And it came with 2 books. So yes, these are pretty tiny books, especially this one, but it still has quite a bit of information. And I'll just read to you just one of the pages. So always start routines slowly, easing into the amount of effort put forth. The slower you move, the more muscle fibers you engage for better results. Focus on intentional flexation, slow, purposeful movement with engaged muscles. Concentrate on your muscles being used. The slower, the better. Always maintain steady breathing. Never hold your breath. Always keep your core tight. So I'm going to go over a few of these points. Always start routines slowly, easing into the amount of effort put forth. So in other words, if I'm going to do like a bow and arrow, I don't just jolt into it. I ease into the tension until build up to the maximum. You take some time to build up. So you don't start with slack and then slam it on like that. You get the slack out, ease into it. Next point, the slower you move, the more muscle fibers you engage for better results. For this, I'm going to hook up the 2 straps to the carabiner to give an example. So both straps are identical, doesn't matter which one you put on the bottom. You do have to adjust the length of them, and it takes a little practice to get used to how long to adjust the straps. But don't let that dissuade you from trying this product out, because any piece of fitness equipment, like regular weights, like barbells, you still have to take the weights off and to adjust the weight and put new weight plates on. So you have to find the length. Okay, so moving slowly to engage more muscles. So if I was to just go like this, there's not much muscle engagement. But if I have tension, so the more tension you have, the slower it goes. So the way this cam buckle works with the carabiner, the carabiner works with these 2 straps is through friction. So the harder you pull up on it, the more friction there is. And the more friction there is, the slower you go. It's almost impossible to go fast when you're pulling hard. So slow and controlled movements will engage more muscle fibers. Focus on intentional flexation. So think of like you're posing for a bodybuilding competition, flexing the muscles as you work them. Slow, purposeful movement. We went over that with engaged muscles. Same idea as flexing. So if you're working your biceps, you're flexing your biceps. You're engaging it. You're mindful of your biceps doing the work. Concentrate on your muscles being used. The slower, the better. And that's because Like I said, the more you're engaged, the harder you're pulling, the slower it's going to go naturally. Always maintain steady breathing, and that's a hugely important point for isometrics, especially because you're producing so much force with isometrics. If you were to hold your breath, can you imagine all that pressure built up? It would be like sneezing and holding it in. You know how much tension that can cause, how much injury. You could rupture something, you can cause yourself a hernia, but more importantly, your blood pressure will spike very high if you hold your breath. So don't even hold your breath for a split second. Always keep your core tight. So the harder you tense, you naturally tend to tense your abs too, but really focus on that too, the whole core. So that's just a brief going through this book. There's a lot of different exercises in here, including stretches. There's isometrics and isomotion. So isometrics, there's no movement once you're in position. So for bicep curls, for example, you ease into it, so no jolting. Ease into that, breathing, focusing on the muscles being worked, engage the muscles being worked, flex the muscles being worked, tense the core, and very quickly you start to sweat and your temperature goes up. So that's isometrics, not moving. Then there's what the Bullworker company calls isomotion, and that's going one side against the other side. So while this arm's pulling, the other side is yielding. So one side's acting like an accelerator, the other side's acting like a brake. So you're allowing the accelerator to overcome the brake, but slowly. You're not braking lightly, you're braking hard, but yielding enough to move. And there are so many exercises you can do, either through isomotion or isometrics. And you can adjust the straps from very, very short, if you wanted to practice a deadlift, isometrics, all the way to above your head if you have both straps extended full length. The handles are comfortable on these, they rotate nice and smoothly. You can adjust them down to a hammer grip, and they're very quick and easy to adjust the length. The Carabiner is nice and smooth and big. The Bullworker even, just a small little strap with two handles, yet there's so many things you can do with it. And for further information and more ideas on how to use this, check out YouTube videos, especially from Bullworker. They've got full workouts on there. I did one the other day, and the amount of burn I got in my shoulders was incredible. And it's typically safe because if you get into trouble, it's not like you're holding up a heavy weight. You can do, one thing I like about isometrics and simple equipment like this is very portable. You can put it all into this bag and travel with it anywhere you go, hotel room, plane. And the thing too with straps and isometrics, you could do it in outer space, even zero gravity, because you're going against an immovable object. So you don't need gravity with these straps. You could do this, you could be an astronaut and be doing this out in space. You could do this lying in bed, seated. So I love isometrics, isotension, isomotions, and different equipment to use these. And these are quality products. Bullworker's been around for a very long time. Very good company, good people at Bullworker. So, and it's relatively inexpensive in this time during COVID too. It's hard to find equipment, but Bullworker, I don't think they've back ordered or sold out of their equipment. So I ordered it from Amazon and I got it a day later. So I'm very happy with my purchase. It's, like I said, it's inexpensive too. So if you see videos out there on stuff like this and you see people laughing or having negative comments, those people will make a negative comment to anybody. It could be the best singer in the world and they'll say they suck, or the best athlete in the world and say they're weak. Those type of people, they have a problem, and it's with themselves. It's not with what they're commenting on that has the problem. So if this looks like it's not really that effective, the only way you can know is to give it a try. And once you try it, you will realize you won't be laughing. You won't be having a negative comment, because how could you? It works incredibly well. The strongest men in the world, the strongest people in the world have used isometrics for thousands of years before there were barbells and dumbbells or any other equipment. Martial artists have been using it for a long, long, long time. It's just nice to have a convenient product to help with that. So give it a try.